fast forward a couple months into my first trimester in chiropractic school, one of my friends called me. It's like, hey, Greg, come on out. Let's go have a drink. And I had to say no. And the reason I said no is because I was experiencing one of my migraines. What he didn't know is I had migraines for 20 years. And if for those of you that may have migraines, it's like having a vice grip tight in your head while somebody's tap dancing while holding a jackhammer. That's what a migraine feels like. It's a horrible feeling. And I had that for 20 years. Now, again, for 20 years, I've had it. I've had the opportunity to go and see plenty of different folks. Even while I was an athletic trainer, I got to know a lot of the medical doctors, and all the orthopedic, a lot of neurosurgeons. So I was able to go and see some of the best of the best. The problem is when you have migraines, typically all your examination tests are negative. And in my case, everything was negative. So I was suffering with migraine headaches, but there was nothing they can do because everything was negative other than to give you the drugs. And for those of you that may have experienced migraine headache, those drugs really numbs you. They don't really help you with anything. They just numbs you. The only thing that can help you with migraine is laying in bed, sound free, no noise, no light, and just hoping and praying to God that you fall asleep. So when he called me and asked me to go join him, I had to decline and say, no, I can't go. But I can remember clearly. He said, oh, yeah, migraines? Oh, I have something that can help you. My brother helps people with migraine. They get better quickly. Now, given my history of 20 years of migraine, when he said that, immediately I thought, oh, my God, his brother must be a renowned neurologist or a renowned scientist. So somebody that I haven't thought of that can fix migraine. I was like excited to hear. But the next word out of his mouth was, well, my brother is an upper cervical chiropractor and he can help. I'm like, the only thing I heard was chiropractic. And I was like, yeah, all these brilliant doctors couldn't help me. What is a chiropractor going to do? The ironic thing is, I'm in chiropractic at the time and I didn't believe in chiropractic whatsoever because the only reason why I was there, it was my way of making more money and also being with the athletes and enjoying the career that I've chose. So when he said that, I was like, no, not for me. But he was persistent enough. Also, lucky me, and that's why they say God works in mysterious ways, is that the chiropractor was seeing chiropractic students for free. So I had no excuses because I wasn't paying for it. He was local and there was a chance to get rid of my migraine. So I went in, not expecting anything whatsoever because, again, my mind is there's nothing he can do. I went in, he did a series of examination, took x-rays, and I remember telling me he found what was wrong with me. It was an atlas subluxation. Didn't really care what he said because I didn't think he could do anything. Now, fast forward exactly 3 months. I went into his office yelling and screaming. And the reason for that is at that time, I was experiencing the worst migraine in my life. That is saying a lot because after 20 years of suffering from migraine, for me to have what I described to be the biggest migraine in my life, the only thing I could think of that may have been causing that was his adjustment. So I was like, dude, you need to fix this. Whatever you did, undo it because my head's going to explode. And finally, it calmed me down. And I can remember this day clearly because the next question he asked me literally changed my life. Because he asked me, I understand that you're not feeling well right now, but tell me, when was the last time you had a migraine? Sounds like a silly question, but when you have migraine, you always have one because migraine has three phases. There's the first phase, that's the start, the beginning, and you have the peak, and then it comes down. The only problem with that is as this cycle's finishing, the other one's starting. So it's always one of these. So you may not have intense migraine all the time, but you always have it. So when he asked me that question, I was like, well, like, wait, no, I don't remember having one yesterday. Well, the day before. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember when was the last time I had a migraine. Again, 20 years, I've always had one and I didn't have one. And I was like, wait, so the reason why that migraine on that particular day felt like the biggest migraine ever is because my body started getting used to not having a migraine. So what I decided to do after that day is really start paying attention to what was going on because at the beginning I didn't know he was doing anything. I didn't care. So I never really paid close attention. So over the next few months, I really started paying close attention to when I was having a migraine and what was going on in my body. Exactly 2 months later, I woke up and realized that I was having one of the best days of my life. I didn't have any migraines. There was no pounding. I was feeling great, but yet I was pissed off. That doesn't sound right. Feeling good and pissed off. So I went to his office once again, yelling and screaming. And the reason why I was pissed off is this: I suffered for 20 years. I've gone to doctors after doctors, test after test, and nobody could tell me that there was something out there that could help me.